You wrote that. You know, in reading through your messages, it reads as if he's your intelligence case officer.
Look, this is I think it's an American, very old saying that suggests that wolves have teeth, but not all animals with teeth are wolves.
There was a politically active young girl of Putin's party who impressed the Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Alexei called her a decent person, but when she reached the age of 32, she made a mockery of Alexei in a live video while he was suffering. Today we will talk about Maria Butina, who has been involved in a lot of activities in more than the last 10 years, from Russia to the US. But before we start today's video, please make sure you have subscribed to the channel. Who is Maria Butina? A spy, fugitive, gun activist, or a politician? Maria Butina was born in the southern Siberian city of Barnaul in 1988. According to her Facebook page, she has enjoyed using weapons ever since she was a child, picking up a gun for the first time at the age of 10. She went to the local Altai State University to study political and educational science. She appears to have been politically engaged and active in the university debating society. Butina then set up a private furniture company, traveling widely abroad and remaining politically active with the youth wing of Vladimir Putin's United Russia Party. And yet she attracted praise from opposition leader Alexei Navalny, who spoke of her as a decent person, which he must be now regretting about. Promoting gun rights was clearly a deep passion of Butina. She founded a group called the Right to Bear Arms and called for the sale of short-barreled firearms to civilians to be made legal. This, she argued, was one of the last wishes of Mikhail Kalashnikov, the inventor of the AK-47 rifle. Her self-defense drive fell flat because of government opposition, but her movement continued to grow, and one of its members was Aleksander Torshin, a member of the Russian Senate and deputy chairman of the Russian Central Bank. He had close ties to the American NRA, and Maria Butina became his unpaid special assistant. Torshin and Butina established a cooperative relationship between the NRA and Right to Bear Arms. Torshin has attended NRA annual meetings in the United States since at least 2011. Following the 2011 meeting, then NRA President David Keane expressed his support for Torshin's endeavors and extended an invitation to the 2012 meeting. Torshin also attended NRA annual meetings in 2012 and 2013. In November 2013, Keane was a guest at the Conference of the Right to Bear Arms in Moscow. In 2015, a number of NRA officials attended Right to Bear Arms' annual gun conference in Russia. Among them were Keane, gun manufacturer, and NRA First Vice President Pete Brownell, conservative American political operative Paul Erickson, and Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clark. One of their hosts was Russian Deputy Prime Minister Dmitry Rogozin, who in 2014 was sanctioned by the White House following Russia's annexation of Crimea. Clark's trip cost $40,000 with all expenses paid by the NRA, Pete Brownell, and Right to Bear Arms. Butina began traveling to the U.S. for NRA conventions, apparently armed with a plan called the Diplomacy Project, aimed at setting up unofficial channels aimed at influencing U.S. policy. By 2016, she had a student visa for a master's degree at American University in Washington, D.C. Her LinkedIn profile said she was focusing on cyber policy, the Internet of Things, cryptocurrencies, and blockchain technology. She was living at the time with 56-year-old Paul Erickson, a South Dakota-based conservative political activist. He is alleged to have helped her pursue her plan, like they were on the same page about something, and we didn't know what it was, says Alina Nicolaou, the daughter of one of Erickson's pals who met Butina on a trip to Disney World. In a June 2015 article published in the National Interest, a conservative American international affairs magazine, just before Trump announced his candidacy for president, she urged better relations between the United States and Russia, saying it may take the election of a Republican to the White House in 2016 to improve relations between the Russian Federation and the United States. The next month, Butina attended Freedom Fest, where Trump gave a speech and asked him from the audience about ending U.S. sanctions against Russia, to which he replied, "I don't think you'd need the sanctions." Butina hosted a birthday party attended by Erickson and Trump campaign aides shortly after the 2016 election. She attended a national prayer breakfast in 2017 where President Trump gave a speech. "It is important to support Trump morally," She was quoted as saying in the Russian press, "Mr. Torshin was placed under U.S. Treasury sanctions in April 2018 and is being investigated by the FBI over allegations of funneling money to the NRA to aid the Trump campaign." She never shied away from a public profile. In one piece on the Russian Snob website, she said her dream was to live in a prosperous, highly developed country, leading in the world, and without migration.
She's back in Russia after serving a 15-month prison sentence for secretly helping the Kremlin influence U.S. policy. Our chief national affairs correspondent.
On July 15, 2018, Butina was arrested in Washington and charged with acting in the United States as an agent of a foreign government, specifically the Russian Federation, without prior notification to the Attorney General, a conspiracy to commit an offense against the United States, to wit, 18 U.S.C. 1951. Her lawyer, Robert Driscoll, described her as an ambitious young woman, not a political agent. But under her plea deal, Maria Butina admitted to the charge of conspiracy. Despite prosecutors' claims that she damaged U.S. national security, Butina insisted that she had no intention of harming the American people. "I destroyed my own life," she told the court. "I came to the United States not under any orders, but with hope, and now nothing remains but penitence." She's not trained as a spy, but she's being used by elements of the Russian government in a way that is advancing Russian interests. And that is what squarely put her on the radar. Former FBI agent Peter Strzok says Butina was in a relationship with Overstock.com CEO and Trump conspiracy theorist Patrick M. Byan. Byan claimed the FBI encouraged him to pursue Butina, a claim retired FBI officials denied. In 2019, Byan divested himself of all shares of Overstock after his relationship with Butina was revealed. "I have one weakness as a woman. I really like smart men. That's my biggest weakness, and that I guess gets me in trouble all the time," she says of her romance with former Overstock CEO Patrick Byan. On July 18th, Butina pleaded not guilty, and a district court judge ordered her jailed pending trial. She was also said to be cooperating in a federal fraud investigation in South Dakota. Maria Butina was held in solitary confinement in Alexandria Detention Center, according to the affidavit in support of the complaint, from as early as 2015 and continuing through at least February 2017. Butina worked at the direction of a high-level official in the Russian government, who, according to the New York Times, was believed to be Torshin. The court filings detail the Russian officials and Butina's efforts for Butina to act as an agent of Russia inside the United States by developing relationships with U.S. persons and infiltrating organizations having influence in the Republican Party and in conservative politics. In 2019, Republicans in the U.S. Federal Election Commission blocked further investigation of Mr. Torshin and alleged illegal funding to the NRA from Russians.
In 2018, Maria Butina pleaded guilty to acting as a foreign agent. She spent 15 months behind bars before being deported.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov made a statement saying that Butina's arrest was designed to undermine the positive results of the Helsinki summit between U.S. President Trump and Russian President Putin. She was arrested a day before Trump met his Russian counterpart. Her Facebook profile, and all the gun-toting images of her on it, remained active after her arrest. A user claiming to be her sister updated her page asking for donations, and even shared a video of her, apparently speaking while in detention. When Russia's lower house of parliament, or Duma, assembled in 2021 for the first time following elections in earlier September, one of its newest members was a name more familiar in the United States than in her home country. Yeah, Maria Butina was elected as the member of Duma. Her critics call her a Kremlin trophy. In April, when she ambushed Russia's most famous political prisoner, the opposition politician Alexei Navalny, on a surprise visit to the penal colony where he is held and which is notorious for harsh treatment. Then she confronted Mr. Navalny, who at the time of her visit was 1 week into a 24-day hunger strike declared because he had been denied medical treatment for severe pain in his back and right leg. "You can walk normally," Ms. Butina tells Mr. Navalny, who did not consent to be filmed. Mr. Navalny repeated to her that he was being denied access to his doctor and walked off. I don't judge Navalny. I said in that video what I saw, Ms. Butina said in her interview. Maria Pevchik, who heads the investigative unit of Mr. Navalny's organization, the Anti-Corruption Foundation, said she believed Ms. Butina's Duma seat was a gift not for her activities in the United States, but for her harassment of Mr. Navalny. He had embarrassed Mr. Putin by exposing the government's plot to kill him and revealing the luxurious nature of a Black Sea palace believed to be purpose-built for the Russian president. If anything, this was a reward for what she did by visiting Navalny in prison, and that TV episode, which was highly embarrassing and disgusting. Ms. Pevchik said, not many people would agree to do that. And she did. She made another shocking entry with her allegations on Ukraine-Russia war, where Maria Butina claims Ukrainians are bombing themselves. We have tons of evidence that the Russian army does not bomb civilian populations, she told BBC Radio's Nick Robinson. Make sure you have liked the video and subscribe to the channel.